Oh, guys, what's going on? And good morning. Welcome into the stream. Very excited to be going over with you guys for the next hour. A lot of bets as we have a Monday Night Football game tonight, 9 NBA games, and about 4 NHL games. So also college basketball. It's here, baby. College basketball is back. So we'll start to look at some college basketball lines for today because we definitely have some games going on. Can't remember. I got to check my phone right now because I can't remember what all games. Yeah, we have some games going on at 4:30. Yeah, so let's see when the first game starts officially today. First game is already going on. Queens and Winthrop are already at halftime. And then we have some other games going on at 9:30. We have a bunch of games just going on throughout the day. Again, a lot of smaller schools when it comes to college hoops. But we will look at some main lines when it comes to college basketball as the regular season starts today. As Major League Baseball concludes, college basketball starts today. It's a wonderful time. So let's take a look and let's get into our DFS optimizer. Irish, what's going on? Patrick, I have my volume turned on to the max right now, my friend. So I hope you can hear me better than you have. I know that you've been having some audio issues in terms of being able to hear my sound, but hopefully it's working out for you, man. Hopefully it's better than this because this is the loud I can have this microphone on at the moment. Obviously, if anyone else is like Patrick is having trouble to hear me, make sure you let me know. Patrick, yeah, man, we lost last night. What's going on, Joey? Lost, yeah, we didn't hit on Dawson Mercer and we didn't hit on the other one. I am still way up though profitable on the NHL. So, like I said, with these anytime goal scorers, we're not going to hit on every single play. And we're not going to hit on, we are going to have some. We only gave out 2 picks yesterday, Braden Point and Dawson Mercer. Didn't work out, but hopefully you're able to tail the Dalton Kincaid play. That cashed for us. A couple of other plays, too, where we went with the Steelers on the spread on DraftKings. That cashed for us in a big way. So we had some other plays, but yes, the NHL plays did not hit. PrizePicks, looking here at 3-pick entries, power, using OddsJam's Fantasy Optimizer. The Duran play, the Santi Aldama play. Obviously, at this point in the morning, guys, it's too early for Pinnacle to. They haven't released their player prop odds, but we're here with this one with FanDuel. I can get behind this one. Sabonis, the under 17.5 is at minus 122. We can get this. FanDuel's at 16.5. A lot of the books are at 16.5. So I like the Sabonis play. And I can get behind this Jalen Duren play. So I'm going to go ahead. I got 2 right now that we want to, and Sabonis play already bumped. Unbelievable how quick these things bump. All right, I can go with this one. Not really here. What else do we have? Austin Reeves. I can get down with the Reeves play. Chi-Town, what's going on? Good morning to you, my friend. And hopefully you guys are having a strong start to your morning. Let me know how it went for you this past weekend. How'd it go for you yesterday betting on the NFL? We had some, can we talk about that Bears-Bengals game? Just insane how crazy it is on the Bears-Bengals game. The ending was just unreal. Never really quite seen anything like that. Santi Aldama. Yeah, okay. All right, I got 2. What else can I go with? I got 2 plays. Looking for that third. I never mind this one. It's not great, but anytime I can bet Andrew Wiggins under on his assists, I'm always going to look to do that because that's already cashed for me a couple times this year early on in the season. All right. This Wiggins play is okay. It's not my favorite. Honestly, what I'd rather do, I'd really rather do this instead, which is maybe get rid of the Wiggins play, and I can add one play from the Larry model that I'm in on. All right, so let's do this one instead. Yeah, I like this one a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, okay, man. Yeah, I like this one. All right. Just come putting in the final touches here, guys, on this slip. But we had some crazy finishes in the NFL, and there was no doubt that the craziest one was the Bears-Bengals game. I was watching it and thought to myself, I can't believe the Bears are going to do what the Bears always do, which is blow it, and the next thing you know, they come back and win this crazy game. All right, I'm going to share this slip with you guys. 3-pick entry. Shout out to the Juice Bets Discord and the Larry model. We're going to finish off the 3-leg slip with this. I appreciate that, Wilbo. I always appreciate the UK followers. Always appreciate that. Glad hopefully you guys have been learning something. Bengals being Bengals, Irish, no doubt about that. Had the Panthers money line, GJ. That's awesome. Yeah, we had them. I had them on the spread. Shared it on the live stream. It was a Hard Rock play. I understand that maybe not many of you can play Hard Rock. But yeah, it was a great to see that. KFT Flip, yeah, we're going to get the flip. We're going to kind of go through the gauntlet here of all the DFS apps. Try to share at least one slip with everybody. There might not be the value if, again, I don't force a slip to force a slip, but we want to make sure that there is value out there. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. All right, so this Dillingham play is okay. It's 10 cents off to FanDuel. Again, Coward. I'm not really looking to play these. I like to normally have at least 3 minimum data points. 2 to 3 minimum data points is my sweet spot. Cade Cunningham, I like that. But again, these plays sometimes bump so quickly. It's just very difficult. All right, so let's go over here. We're looking at Cade. Love that. Okay, the Dillingham play, I can get behind. It's If I find a better one, I'll go after a better one. We already have Austin Reeves on one slip. I don't want to do that again, but Nesmith. Yeah, we can go on his under on his PRA. All right, let's grab this. Remember, no insurance on these 3-pick slips, guys. We're going no insurance. Grab the link, drop it for you. Saints, what's going on, man? Good morning to you. How are you, bro? Chi-Town said, Alex had Panthers, so did all the D-gens then. Yes. Yeah, whatever Alex is betting, everyone just tails it. And you don't really need to question it because he's the man. All right, so there's a 3-pick slip on Underdog. Let me go and see what we have on Better right now. Better is looking a little more fruitful in terms of opportunities. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me fire up Better and see what we have coming. The Wiggins play over on his rebounds and assists. Okay. I can get behind that for sure. Because FanDuel's at 7.5 on this line. We're getting this at 6.5. So we're taking this over 6.5. Cool. What's next up? DiVincenzo, the over 3. We're getting a little bit of insurance on this play. And Jamal Murray under 9.5. Okay. These are always feel like it's going to be right on the edge. Under 9.5. And then DiVincenzo. All right. Yeah. Giannis over 11.5. Oh, Şengün. I like the Şengün play a bit more than the DiVincenzo play. If you feel free to disagree with me, if you want to go a different route with this one, guys, we might be making more than one slip here on Better. Love this. All right. And I'll share this with you guys as well. Here's the first slip. For any of you guys out there that are looking to rock some Better. Tailed a bunch of dabble slips from Alex, Gamble, and Alexis on the edge zone. Crushed it yesterday. Good to hear that. Irish, yeah, I tailed some of their slips on Saturday for college football, and it worked out pretty well. Had a nice little Saturday for college football. Had a really nice little Sunday yesterday. I didn't get as many bets down as I wanted to, but I was still very happy. All right, so there's the first slip. I'll make sure to I like to just take screenshots, guys, for my own record keeping. If you see that in the bottom right, I just like to do it that way. So there's one slip. I'll still go with DiVincenzo. I'm not against this at all because we are getting this at a discount. So we're taking this over on his threes, and we're getting it exactly at 3, which I'm in on. And then Giannis, okay. Drew Holiday's 22 cents off. I like that a bit more because of just the gap to FanDuel. I respect FanDuel quite a bit when it comes to their NBA player prop odds. Every now and then, maybe I'll go after them with, placing a few bets for NBA player props, but, I normally like to respect them. So over on Giannis. All right, so this is going to be a different 3-pick entry. Again, no insurance on this play. And there we go. Let me share this link with you guys. So 2 different better slips. Let's go over to Flip. Skunky, what's up? What's going on, Skunky? And yes, college basketball is here. We already have one game that's currently in the midst. Winthrop is playing. I'm not sure if we have any Winthrop alumni here in the, or any people that are currently going to Winthrop that are just watching the stream. All right, let's take a look at Flip. Same thing. 3 minimum data points, right? I like to see some confidence in this play. Walter Clayton Jr. This looks to be a play that it's a small edge they're saying on Flip. Over 6.5 points. Walter Clayton Jr. Jazz Celtics. 15 cents off to FanDuel, which that's fine. And it's kind of FanDuel's similarly priced to the rest of the rec books. So this looks to be a spot where Flip is off. I would go up to a half unit on this play with Walter Clayton. No doubt about that. Sam Darnold, yeah, more TDs than incompletions. That was crazy. If I had to boast, if I had to brag a little bit, my Steelers picked off Daniel Jones. More turnovers yesterday than the Colts had all season long in that one game. So suck it, Colts. But yeah, crazy that Darnold just absolutely balled out. I hate to see Jaden Daniels go down with an injury. Because he's just one of those, I really like him. He's a special guy, special talent. Love to see the quarterbacks playing, so might be the Marcus Mariota show. That's really it at the moment for Flip. I don't really see a lot else out there at the moment. It could literally, guys, with these odds and all these plays, things could change in like 2 minutes, and next thing you know, we get a couple more plays, right? If I'm looking at Dabble, for any of my Dabble users, again, we're going to focus on 3-pick entries. I like to focus on 2-3 minimum data points. When I say data points, think of just other sports books. We need other opinions. The more data points, the more sports books odds that we have when comparing our play, the more confidence that I have in that play. So, again, we're looking at Julius Randle under 7.5 rebounds. It looks really good to DraftKings, MGM, Caesars. Hard to say with how it looks to FanDuel because we just see that their line's at 6.5. But a little easier with Wiggins. Every book has his line at 16.5 or 15.5 points. We're getting this at under 17, right? So this is a value. Even though it's a half point extra, if he lands on 17, it's insurance. The play pushes. So I would say at the moment with Dabble, I would go with the Wiggins play. I would go with Marshall, and I would go with Michael Porter Jr. Just because of where FanDuel is on this Randall play. If you want to take it, that's fine. But I would just go with these next 3 dudes. No doubt about that. Morning, Ken. How's it going? We them boys. Good question. Good question, DP. Cardinals running backs over since it's a committee approach or staying away. I'm still fine with taking the overs. It doesn't always work out this way, guys, but you want to focus on defenses that are bad, like Cincinnati's or Dallas. So I'm fine with going over the overs. I know that everyone's kind of anticipating it's going to be a Bam night type of night tonight, but the Cowboys defense is one of the worst, if not the worst, in all of football. And I would be more than happy to have any Cardinals running backs. Even though Jacoby Brissett is playing, no Kyler Murray, I'm still okay with that. Still really all right with it. But we'll take a look at it. Now, again, for betting purposes, if you're looking for fantasy football, I think Bam Knight could be a good play tonight. For betting purposes, I don't know if it's just just bet whatever. And Arturo, I don't know if Arturo was on the stream, but I didn't see how it went yesterday he had his fantasy football question in terms of should he play Nico Collins or should he play Teteroa McMillan? And Tet ended up with, 4 for 46, which is a pretty, meh day. It's not going to kill you, but it's not like a great game. And then Nico, because of the C.J. Stroud injury, Nico ended up with 7 for 75. So much would have rather had Nico than the Tet, which is an interesting play. All right, so we're looking at DraftKings Pick 6. 3 pick entries again. I'm a big fan of 3 pick entries. And I need to log in first and foremost, but it looks like we might have some opportunities. Let me refresh this page. Again, not just the optimizer tool, guys, but if you want to try any of the tools over here at OddsJam, right? Use my code Billy35. You're going to receive a 1-week free trial plus 35% off your first month after the 1-week trial ends. Yeah, no doubt about that, GJ. Bengals and Cowboys competing for the worst. My Steelers, in terms of a pass defense, not really much there as well. So we are getting to the point of the year, guys. It's the trade deadline on tomorrow. We got 9 weeks of football under our belt. Not saying that some teams can't make a turnaround with their defense, but if you're looking at the Cowboys and you're looking at the Bengals and they're not really trading for anyone, or they don't have a bunch of players injured that are coming back off of IR, this is who they are. Definitely who they are. Points and rebounds for Giannis. Now, we did just go what is over on his rebounds, but points and rebounds, Giannis could score 29 points, grab 12 rebounds, and we're very happy. So let's look at the NBA. Do we have any bonuses? We got winnings boost on live. Again, guys, this DK pick 6, they got a 30% winnings boost, Cardinals, Cowboys, but it's at least 4 pick entries. I must caution you that while that looks really good, 4 pick entries are horrible for pricing. They are the worst in all of the different slip combinations that you can make on PrizePicks. So if you're wondering why PrizePicks is or on DraftKings is yo, we'll give you this boost 30% or more on 4 pick entries or higher. Well, look at the price difference. If you're going to play anything, I'd play a 6-man no insurance, because then it's okay, that's worth it. But 4-mans are the next easiest ones to win off 3-mans, but the pricing is terrible. DraftKings Pick 6 knows this. They're not stupid. This Giannis play, though, I'm still very interested in. Cam Thomas, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of fine with all these. I don't like betting Giannis just because, if anyone's going to be getting some points up, it's him. He's listed as questionable. 45, and they already bumped this play to 44.5, so he's gone. Don't want Shaden Sharp. Austin Reeves, don't really want that, but let's go with Cam. I'm okay with that. Even though there's only one sports book, it's the sports book that I lean on the most. So Cam over 29.5 PRA, that's already bumped. Oh, no, it's not. But it's a reduced payout. So, yeah, it's bumped. It's crazy sometimes just how quick things are moving. Let's go with George. We're going on his under 15.5. Okay, I like the George play. What else do I have here? Brunson over on assist. I can get down with Brunson. He's going to probably be at 6 or 7 tonight. So we got the over on Brunson. We got the under on George. I don't like the Kamara play. Luka's, man, I hate betting Luka's unders, man. I hate betting his unders on his PRA. But it's a little too high. Nervous about this one. Okay, I'll share this with you guys over here. It's a pick 6. FF. Have you ever tried to explain to your friends the importance of price and they look at you like you're dumb, trying to help you win, bro? Yes. Yes, I have. So I think that a lot of people in this stream can attest to the fact that you guys know something that 99% of sports bettors don't know. Or they look at you and they're like, who cares? Doesn't matter. And so it's taken me some time to realize this. When I say that, when I first discovered this, I wanted to tell all my friends. And a great example of this is, and then I just had to give up. We're going to move on here. We're going to look at some arbitrage bets. So let me open up the tracker because I can kind of share this a little bit better with you guys. So yes, trying to explain this to my friends, very difficult because they only have a DraftKings or they only have a FanDuel app. I've told this story before, like last year. He's not that close of a friend just because I don't know him all that well, but he's one of my best friends' friends. And I remember like telling him like, yo, man, like you really want to, this was last year when like FanDuel was like popping off for anytime touchdown scores, a lot of value. And I said, yo, like you should like really take a look at FanDuel because I saw he had DraftKings. And he looked at me square in the face. He looked at me right in the eyes. He said, I'm just a DraftKings guy, man. I love Barstool. I want to support those guys. And I just bet DraftKings. That's the only sports book I like to bet. And I just remember thinking in my head, like, dude, you're an idiot. You're an absolute dumbass. And so it took me some time to realize that not all my friends really want to actually make money sports betting. They say they want to make money sports betting, but they really just want to gamble. And that's okay. If you want to gamble, please go ahead and do that. So the prime example, guys, is this is the difference, in my opinion, between sharp sports betting and this is the difference between, maybe people that are just looking to gamble. Now, I made this 3-pick parlay on Saturday on Onyx with that 200% SGP boost. And we had the over on Bo Bichette, the under on Shohei, and the under on total runs, right? Now, it was only $10, but it was going to pay out $265 in profit. Now, these two plays were plus EV, very plus EV. I found these plays on the tool. I liked this under. It was hard to find an EV place, but I liked this under. So we hit these first two legs, and I went ahead and hedged this and bet the opposite side, right? I bet the over 8.5 as soon as these two first parts of these legs hit. Most people, especially our friends, on a 10-leg, 3-leg parlay, they would just let this ride. They would just gamble, okay? And so it's definitely difficult for them to understand. First off, when I think the biggest thing that comes across with a lot of my friends, and I'm on a tangent right now, but it's a great question. It's a great question, FF, is that it seems like work to these people. It seems like work to my friends in terms of doing what we do. It's a lot of work. It takes the fun out of sports betting, right? And so they don't want to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you guys just want to bet your opinions and gamble so you can go in the office on Monday morning and look at the guys and be like, I told you the Bengals were going to blow it. I get that. I totally understand. But the people that I have the problems with are really, they look at you and they're like, yeah, I'm trying to make money sports betting, but then they still just go ahead and like play a bunch of SGPs and they bet their opinions that are like these massively negative SGPs. And, that's the thing. And I think low key, a lot of my friends tell you that they want to gamble just for fun, but obviously everybody wants to win. So we're looking at a lot of Amen Thompson plays right now. I would not go after NBA player props this early in the morning, guys, unless this is it. Like this is your only time of the day that you can gamble, that you can arbitrage, then I would do that. But there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of friends, a lot of buddies I'm sure that we have that, they put together that 7-leg slip every day, every weekend, and then it loses. And then they can't figure out why, and they think it's their strategy, but they just don't understand the math behind it. So great question. So many of my friends, all of my friends know that, like, here's the one thing I'll say. My friends, have noticed that, like, Billy starts to win a lot more than maybe, if I'm my friend, I'm like, wow, Billy wins more than I win. But I don't understand what Billy's doing, but I don't really care to still learn because I just still want to do what I do. That's what I would say. Damien, what's going on? FanDuel might be sharp on college basketball. Made threes last night, devigging the pinnacle, and they all moved against me. Eric, I wouldn't disagree with that statement, but I would say, what's our sample size in that? So, because in my opinion, if our sample size is below 1,000 bets or 1,000 or 1,000 of those examples, then it's too small of a sample size for me to really deem if that's true or not. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's just too small for me to really evaluate what's going on. So if you've had 30 or 100 or 200 bets, it's still too small for me to say. But it's still something that I would pay attention to as you go on throughout the season. That's what I would say. Yeah, Irish, just giving up to your friends as well. And then what I realize is like I gave up trying to explain to my friends like what I do. I just gave up. Well, let's look at the sharp money tool first. I just did, right? And so after that, then I just realized when I look back and I noticed this, and I don't normally, like I was out on Saturday, I was at a bar watching the game. If anyone's ever been, one of my favorite bars in Scottsdale, Old Town, Boondocks. It's a younger kid's vibe, but it's a great bar. And sitting to the guy next to me, who's a really nice guy, he was a little bit younger than me. And I saw him pull out his FanDuel app. And he's sitting there next to me on his FanDuel app. And like, I could see him tap multiple times. Like he's cooking up like a college football parlay for the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. And I almost wanted to, I normally don't because I just leave people alone, but I was wanting to be like, hey man, like you should just check out my YouTube channel. Like if you just like, you're betting on sports, and I should have done it. But normally I've seen this before, like in the sauna with guys at the gym, they'll bring their phones in with them and they're like checking in their FanDuel. And you could see they're just like cooking up that 7-8 leg parlay. And I'm like, dude, like everybody, it's amazing to me how everyone does the same thing. Everyone does the exact same thing time and time again. And all they do is bet parlays. It's all they do. And they don't really know anything else. They just don't know any better. All right, I guess let's first look for the sharp money tool. Let's look for some mainline markets. And let's take a look to see what we have. Okay. So mainline market plays, what do we have? This would be a play that if you lived in Vegas, I would be definitely in consideration. I definitely would consider betting this. But to be honest, guys, this is a play that I'm thinking about betting maybe at a rec book. Okay, let's break this one down. Blackhawks on the money line tonight. They're taking on the Kraken. Someone has $17,000 on ProfitX, and they want this play at minus 139. They're offering you the Kraken at 139. They want the Blackhawks at 139 odds. So this bettor wants this at plus 139 odds. They have $17,000 on this play on no vig, okay, which is a lot of money. To be honest, while they are asking for plus 139 odds, that's not too far off from a ProfitX, a no vig, right? You can bet this on some other books at plus 139. I'm looking at plus 135 thinking maybe I'll go after this. Plus 134 on Bet Online. This isn't all that far off that this guy wants this, right? So sometimes when we're looking at the sharp money tool, we see some plays that, someone has like $200,000 on Kalshi on the Blackhawks, but they want the Blackhawks at like plus 160. And we're like, yeah, man, that's not going to happen. That price it's unattainable. It's so far out there. Not going to be able to get that. Not going to be able to get that. But here, there's a chance that we can get this Blackhawks play. And I don't mind it. I don't mind being able to get this at plus 139. So honestly, I'm interested in maybe going over Ballybet and doing a little sprinkle here. Now, I am limited on Ballybet. But, it's NHL money lines. I don't bet too many NHL money lines on Ballybet. They'll probably still let me bet like $100. And that's all I'm looking to bet right now, guys, with the sharp money tools. Roughly about $100, make $100, right? But this is a massive limit to Pinnacle. Pinnacle's only taking $5K. This is a money line play in the NHL. This is a big deal, right? So there's only 4 games tonight. I'll take this at plus 135 over at Ballybet. And I'm just going to try to grab this for $100. Now, I can't get it at the same exact price, but I'm willing to take 4 cents off. See? And even though I'm limited on Ballybet, I don't bet many NHL money lines. They'll let me get that play down. So we'll see tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern how this worked out. How's the CLV for me? Okay, I'm willing to take a slightly worse price because someone clearly has a lot of conviction in this play on the Blackhawks. Yeah, I would say that as well, Irish. I would say that as well. Appreciate that, Aaron. Very kind of you. Chi-Town, are they willing to lose one side to get to the other side? I guess so. Yeah, Irish, if you have Circa in Kentucky, I would definitely grab that over there. Not very few times I can say, hey, go bet this on Circa, but there are definitely some times we could do that. Same thing here on the money line. Pistons. Now, this is more of a collective group of $9,500. Make sure when you were reading this tool, guys, two different things in my opinion. 17,000, now there's $16,200 because someone just took some money on this play. Compared to, this is one lump sum compared to, this is all chopped up. Okay. So Pinnacle's taking $3,000, but this is all kind of chopped up, which is, But still, someone has $3,700. But you can see there's a clear, if you take all this money, though, tied up together, there's a lot of money on one side that wants the Pistons somewhere between minus 168 to minus 178, right? We can get this at minus 150. Now, to be fair, we can get this at minus 152 on FanDuel. I'm going over to FanDuel, even though I'm limited over there. This looks to be incredible compared to Pinnacle. I hope this isn't stale. God, I hope this isn't stale. That's an incredible price. No, it's got to be a mistake. Pistons money line FanDuel. Yeah, it is. It's minus 186 right now. Let me refresh this. Thought so. That stinks. But we can still get Pistons at maybe like minus 170 over on BetDSI, which is pretty good. Minus 175 on Ballybet. There's less money on this play now, but Pinnacle's at minus 174. Yeah, not as much. At minus 152, I'm in on this. Let's look at this. 1,600, 5,300, 9,200. Somebody really wants the Mavericks at plus 12.5, at plus 106 to plus 104 range. Pinnacle's got this at plus 104. Again, Pinnacle's limits 5,000, and you could see, we can't get this at plus 106, but still we can get 5,000 down. I'm willing to sprinkle this one, guys. I'm definitely willing to go after this. Plus odds, bet 105. They copy Pinnacle's odds. We've talked about them before in the past. If this is like, hey, those instances when you live in America and I want to bet on Pinnacle, that's where I go to bet 105. Right? Yesterday, Trevion Henderson, 14 rushing carries. Trevion, my boy. Guess what? We bet that yesterday in the live stream over on bet 105. Because I was like, man, I'd like to bet this on Pinnacle, and I can't. Because in America, you can't use Pinnacle. Well, you can use bet 105. Waiting just for it to log me in. If you use code Billy C on your first deposit of $100, they'll give you a $50 deposit or $50 bonus cash. 1x rollover. Most offshore sports books, 5x, 10x rollover. Not bet 105. Taking me a minute to log in to bet 105. I'm not going to lie right now. But we're getting in over there. I like that play. We're looking at the Mavs at plus 12.5. Can't showcase this on the stream right now, guys, just because it is a global sports book. But trust me, I'm a big fan of it. Plus 12.5, 105. I'm fine with this. Again, maybe I just bet $100 on this play just because I'm just still new to using the sharp money tool, right? Maybe I'll bet a little bit more next time. I cannot, but bet 105. There we go. Get the Mavs. What else do we have here? Let's do a little quick refresh using the sharp money tool. Again, this is one of the newer tools out here, guys. Not the newest tool. We got a newer tool that just dropped today. When it comes to college hoops, because we are going to be looking at some college basketball lines. Let's look at this main line for the Heat and the Clippers, the under. Make sure, I like to use a kind of a combination, guys. Again, looking at the liquidity limits. Where's Pinnacle limits at? What's bookmakers limits at? What's BetOnline's limits at? Right? So I'm going to log into those books right now just so we can kind of talk about that. Heat Clippers, under 228.5. Pinnacle's taking $3,000. Cool. All right. What about like my boy's bookmaker? What's bookmaker taking right now on this play? I'm just going to log in, right? Using multiple books, looking at where their liquidity is. It's very important. Looking at the Heat and the Clippers. Right. They have this at under 226.5, mind you, at minus 108 odds. Bookmaker does. At under 228.5, they're taking $2,500. So Bookmaker's taking about the same amount, a little bit less than Pinnacle. Okay. Somebody really wants this at plus 122 odds, $700. That's not great. right? But you can see that somebody also wants this at plus 116 odds for 1,600. So there might be a little something here. Also, though, guys, in general, this is way off to Pinnacle. It's 18 cents off. It's even 9 cents off to Bookmaker. So Bally Bet, again, I'm going to go over to Bally Bet, even on a limited Bally Bet account, and I'm going to bet this under right now on the Clippers and the Heat if I can hurry up and grab this. Looks like I can't. Looks like it's now at 225 and a half, 225, 228 and a half is at minus 141. That this play is dead. Okay, let's move on. What else do we got? Villanova. This would be minus 9.5 against BYU college hoops. Not enough money. So really there's not enough money for the rest of these plays for me to consider this at all. But that's okay. Let's go over the EV tool. Something that's new, guys. We're looking at some NFL lines. This is going to be unveiled it's going to be a slow rollout, but more and more users. Platinum plan. This is for the Platinum plan users. You will gain access to this. This is the custom plus EV formula where you can build your own formula. So as you can see right here, we have a 50-50 split between Circa and Pinnacle. And we are looking at the NFL. And I'm looking at mainline markets, and we do have player props, but it's really just mainline markets what I'm focused on. I'm using worst case. And here's what we have. We're looking at worst case, a mix between Circa and Pinnacle. Now, we're going to find some lower edge plays here, but I believe in these plays. So, speak of the devil. Bet 105. Sometimes Bet 105, while they copy Pinnacle's odds, they didn't copy him here because we're getting this at plus 106. And so Circa's at minus 110 on this under for the Patriots and the Bucks. Pinnacle's at minus 101. So if you're taking a cumulative average, there we go. Right? If I wanted to grab Bookmaker as well, I could do that. So I don't mind this. I'm over at Bet 105. The under 48. 48's an important number. So I can get down with this play. I'm definitely in on it. Let me see what we have. Pats, Bucks. Yeah, it's at plus 106. They're telling me to wager $50. Obviously, I'm going to wager a little bit more than that because it is a mainline NFL play. But I'm just going to go ahead and put 100 on this one. Let's go 200. Let's go 200. You know with NFL what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to put $200 here on this under 48 at plus 106 odds. Again, guys, why am I wagering more money even though it's a lower edge play? Because it's the NFL. It's the main market. It's the main line. So I'm in on this one. I'm also interested in looking at Packers money line against the Eagles real quick. 10K being taken by Pinnacle here. Minus 141. Circa Bookmaker. This is a smaller edge, guys. I'm in on this on FanDuel all day long. I'll go to FanDuel right now to bet this Packers money line. I know they just lost. Tucker Kraft most likely might have tore his ACL. Right? I'm willing to go about $150 on this because I really just like the price on this. I think it's just a really good price. I got to log in. Dang it. All right. So why am I willing to bet so much more money on this Packers play when it's less than a 1% edge? Because it's the money line in the NFL. You're never going to find a 5%, 7% EV edge play on the money line on the NFL. So I'm not going to, I'm going a little bit above my skis here when it comes to the minus 130. But I'm okay with this. I'm all right with going for $150. We got the Packers on the money line. There we go. I'm limited on this FanDuel account now because of how much we've been crushing them on NHL goal scores. That's fine. So I'm going Packers on the money line. You can grab this at Novig as well. I'll take it at FanDuel. A lot of sharp books. Pinnacle's taking $10,000 here, right? It's a lot of money that they're taking for an NFL money line play on a Monday for this. This is the Sunday night game? No, this is the Monday night game. It's next Monday. So there we go. What else do we have? Yeah, the only thing I forgot about this, guys, I'm so used to clicking the refresh button. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time when it comes to all of this. So here's what we can do for the moment, right? Let's take a look at some college basketball plays. Tonight, guys, at 6 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be going through a ton of NBA player props. I don't normally bet NBA player props this early in the morning. I like to wait until an hour to 2 hours before tip, or at least by when some injury news has came out. You can bet NBA player props this early in the morning. Sometimes some plays will go really for you based on injury news. Some will go really against you. But again, if I'm going to bet some NBA player props and if I'm betting unders for account and health purposes, I like to wait until, there's some some more news out there. All right, let's look at some basketball. Let's go over here. All right, and let's look at some main markets. And I'll even look at some alt markets. That's fine. And we are going to add in another book here. I'm going to add in bookmaker. 100%. We're going to add in bookmaker here to the split. And I want to kind of give this all just its same. I want to give it all their flowers. So 33% between Pinnacle, Circa, and bookmaker. This is what I'm looking to look for college basketball today. We're going to focus on today. And 100% book weights means that I need all three of these to show up, right? And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to say, yo, let's go 65%. So here's the combination. With 65%, when I have three sports books, that means if Pinnacle and Circa have it, a play will show. If Pinnacle and Bookmaker have it, a play will show. Or if Circa and Bookmaker have it, a play will show up. So I like this a lot for college basketball main markets. And we're just going to have to wait for some opportunities to load. So we're just going to go back over here to the Sharp Money tool, and we'll just take a look. And we'll also look at some more DFS for my DFS folks. Kings, hold up. Let's see. Kings, plus 12.5. Pinnacle's taking 5K on this. Kings plus 12.5. What's Bookmaker taking? Bookmaker's taking $3,700 on this play. So for NBA spreads at this point, guys, in the morning, there's more money being taken by Pinnacle than there is Bookmaker. Okay, let me take a look at BetOnline, see what they're taking. See if we just catch up on the chat. R25. What's the sharp for college basketball? Not really one sharp book. Again, here's what I would say. A simple answer: find out which sports book is taking the most amount of money on the market, whether it's money lines or point spreads or total points. Find out which book between Circa, Pinnacle, BetOnline, and Bookmaker is taking, or even FanDuel, who's taking the most action. That's who's going to be the most confident in their lines. Now for the sharps, it's tough to say. Because I'm just checking some, because it's been a minute since we've been betting college basketball. Now, guys, college basketball is going to be similar to college football. The more money being taken on plays, the more confidence that we have. So I just pulled up BetOnline over here because we know that Pinnacle's taking on this NBA point spread, they're taking 5K. Bookmaker's taking 3,200. And if I'm looking at this Kings play, BetOnline's taking $3,100. So at the moment, Pinnacle's taking the most amount of money. They have the most amount of confidence in their play. So I would deem them as sharp for NBA, for point spreads at this specific time. For college hoops, this is why I like to take a collective blend. If I can take a collective blend of plays where we look at DraftKings and we're looking at Central Arkansas and North Carolina, I'm like, yo, Pinnacle's at minus 113. They're only taking $500. Circa's at minus 110. I'm going to go bet this on Onyx right now. Hopefully I can get this on Onyx because this would be great. But again, these sports books are not taking a ton of money when it comes to this play. While it is North Carolina, Central Arkansas isn't exactly like, not doing it all when it comes to this. So looking at NCAA, there's so many games today, guys. I wish Onyx had a search bar, but I'm just going to scroll and find out what's what. Okay. Find out where's this game. There it is. Okay. And we're looking for the total points. And I'm looking for the under 153.5. Okay. I love this play. So I'm going to share my phone right now over on Onyx. Again, guys, they copy their odds. So I'm going to go in for, we'll go in early on for a 150 spot here. Can we grab this? Got it. 153 plus odds. It's good to Circa. It's good to Pinnacle. I'm in. Grab this over on Onyx. I bet a little bit more than maybe what I should, but that's all right. Which is another great point, guys, is obviously with college basketball just starting, just be careful. Just be careful. But I like this a lot. Good to two sharp books. This is the beautiful thing now with the custom EV formula. You can look at certain plays, and you can just have a great time. So let's kind of talk about a few things here. Okay, number one, High Point versus Furman. Okay. We're not talking about any powerhouses here, right? We bet on just North Carolina at the moment. High Point versus Furman, these are two extremely small schools, very small schools. You are going to be recommended throughout this college basketball season some very small schools. Remember, if we're looking at Alabama versus Auburn compared to High Point and Furman, there's more money that the sportsbooks will take on the Alabama-Auburn game versus High Point and Furman. Be careful. That's something that's taken me years to learn. One tip that I can give you guys is I'm not saying that you can't make money betting on VMI versus Wofford. I'm just saying I have more confidence when the sportsbooks are taking more money on their plays. So if we're finding plays with an edge, the more money that a sportsbook's taking on that play, the more confidence that I have. You can see with this tool, guys, well, you can't because my head's in the way. You can see with this tool over here, it's constantly, once you set up the custom EV formula, it's on a pause play. So new plays will automatically load up on this page. And then you just got the little spinning thing right here. Okay. So what else do we got here? Obviously, Sportsino, we know about this. Arkansas minus 27.5. That was good. That's not there anymore. And some of these plays are obviously locked because, again, this is a newer tool, guys, that's coming out. It's going to be unveiled, so there's still maybe it's running a little bit slower. But at the moment, let's look at Coppin State in Maryland, under 139. Again, sometimes it's really simple. No other sportsbook's offering plus odds on this play. There's only one sportsbook offering plus odds. Coppin State in Maryland, pretty simple here, right? But Circa's at minus 110, Pinnacle's at minus 122. We can get in on this, right? When you click into these books, click into these plays, you can see Pinnacle move just a little bit, but they're only taking $500 here. So even though these are mainline markets that we're looking at, they're not taking that much money. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these different plays. Onyx moved to minus 110 as I pressed it. Damn. Damn, my bad. I hope I didn't move the market. Right? I hope that didn't happen, but yeah, okay. Now, one thing I will say, guys, I struggle a lot betting the WNBA, especially mainline markets. The WNBA, there are times with the WNBA that you can get the Liberty at minus 5.5. Right before the game starts, the Liberty are at like minus 7.5. And I'm like, dude, I just got an extra 2 points, a closing line value. Like, let's go. And then like the Liberty lose by 10. So there are going to be instances here, guys, where like this North Carolina play, they might score like 180 points in this game tonight. It's way off. Something else is if you are following a certain college basketball team and to kind of move things along to give us some more plays, I'm just going to get off the custom EV formula builder. It's a little too slow at the moment. But let's go over here. Let's go to our DVIG settings. So we'll just kind of reset this. And at the moment, we'll go to Pinnacle, and we'll just kind of do what I do before, which is we'll just look for some other plays that we can kind of mix in. But there are going to be instances here, guys, when you're betting college basketball where you have a team plus 9.5 and they lose by 30. That's just going to be the case. Let's go after plays that are at least a 3% edge, if not higher, for college hoops today because, well, we want really good plays. And let's look at some mainline markets, see what we have at the moment. Date ranges for today. You can see 3%. There's a lot. If we want to take this all the way up to, let's say, 5%, still 25 results. Now, it's all Hard Rock. Gonzaga, for my DraftKings folks. Gonzaga minus 28.5. When you open up this page, I would always recommend that you open up the event page when you're looking at spreads. They're taking on Texas Southern, right? All the powerhouse schools are taking on cupcake schools. Auburn's playing Bethune-Cookman, okay? Bet Online, Circa, they have this spread at 29.5, okay? DraftKings is way off, okay? By a point, though. We're getting an extra point here. Getting this at minus 28.5 at even odds. You want to take the main line, guys, at minus 27.5? Be my guest. This is very EV if you take them at minus 27.5 because all the other books are at minus 29.5. But remember, Pinnacle's only taking $500. So while this looks to be a really good play, tread softly. So what I would look to do is I would just look to play this straight up, right? Now, I think personally you're going to have success betting this, but I have come to the conclusion with college basketball, it's difficult sometimes. It's very difficult knowing who the hell is sharp and who isn't sharp. So I'm going to, over here on DraftKings, because I know I'm over here. There it is. I'm just going to take a look to see what they have. Now, if I'm over here and we're looking at this Gonzaga play, right? I'm going to pull up what does my boys over here at Bookmaker have? How much is Bookmaker taking on Gonzaga right now? We know the Pinnacle's taking $500. Looking at the search bar here. There we go. So Bookmaker has this at minus 29.5 at minus 108 odds. Bookmaker's taking $540 on Gonzaga. So they're taking $40 more than Pinnacle. Okay. If I look at Bet Online, we're on basketball. Let me come over here. What do I got here on Gonzaga? They have it at minus 29.5. Bet Online's taking $525. Pinnacle's taking $500 on this spread. Bet Online's taking $525. Bookmaker's taking $540. That's not a lot of money. So just tread softly. So when you can find discrepancies like this Gonzaga play where we can get this at 27.5, it's going to be EV no matter where you go, guys. We can get this on, 27.5, 28.5, hell, or you want to bet where everyone else is at 29.5. I'd rather take the 27.5. You're going to have a great time. So for the promos, let's see what they have going on today for promos, because they're going to provide us some kind of promos. It's not as good as the NBA, but it's still really good. All right, so let me refresh this page. A lot of Sports Zeno plays. We talked about this Gonzaga play. What else? FanDuel, Arkansas, minus 24.5. Interesting. College basketball boost, wake up. So this is on DraftKings, $25 bet. We'll get a single profit boost token, okay? And so, okay. Is there anything else on DraftKings I could rock a two-leg parlay that's not Gonzaga? Boston University against Northeastern, plus 136 odds. Okay. This is way off. I guess I'm all right with that. That's really it, though, at the moment. Now that we know what we know, we can also grab and look at some other books. We can look at a Bet Online. We can look at Pinnacle, right? You can look at some other books for what we want to do. Queens and Winthrop, also great to, I would honestly, guys, for anyone that's live arbitrage betting, there is no easier sport to live arbitrage than college basketball. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. A little bit different of a stream, guys, but because college basketball is here, I want to make sure we focus on this. Right, so we're getting a boost over there, which is great to see. We were looking at Arkansas just here a second ago. Yeah, so they have this at minus 24.5 at minus 110 odds. Bet Online is at minus 26.5. Circa's at minus 27 on Arkansas. Let me see where where Bookmaker is. Arkansas is at minus 26.5 at minus 113. This is a smash on FanDuel. Go grab this now, Arkansas spread. Southern University. What's the max wager size? 110. Now that my FanDuel account's limited, they'll only let me profit $100. Okay. Will they let me bet it again? Probably not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Worth a shot. All right, well, I'm in for my max, $110. FanDuel, Arkansas, minus 24.5. This is a great play on FanDuel. Grab that. Look at the movement from Pinnacle. Good golly. That's so good. Love that. What's the promos? 50% profit boost on any college basketball game. That's really good. That's really good. Max is $10. Okay, cool. So we're in on this play. And I'm not limited on DraftKings, but I wouldn't mind going and grabbing some Gonzaga. let's see. There are so many college basketball games. We got some good matchups tonight. Texas Duke. I'm sorry, that's later on. Wrong. That's tomorrow. Texas Duke is tomorrow. I'm just looking over here on DraftKings. Here we go. Gonzaga and Texas Southern. And yeah, they're at minus 29.5 as well, which is kind of unfortunate, but okay. Let's refresh the page. Obviously, guys, SportsZeno, you're going to have a great time. NC State minus 31.5. Yep, that just moved. So we can use a number of different sharp sports books here, guys, to find our college basketball plays because they all have the same limits right now at the moment, right? Looks like you could bet this again on Onyx on the under 151.5 at plus 130 odds. Interesting. Clemson minus 27.5 on Bet Now, which is a global sports book, which I can get down with. Love to bet this. Clemson minus 27.5. I would have to imagine all the other sharp books are like a 28.5, 29. Yeah. Circa's at 29.5. Bet Online's at minus 29. Yeah, these are good plays. When you can pick off these books where you're finding, and this is another thing, guys, too, with the sharp money tool, I think, yeah. Oh, it's actually 27.5 on Bookmaker. At minus 113 odds. So they don't like this play as much with Clemson. But Bookmaker's the only one that sees it this way, so I'm still willing to bet this over on Bet Now. Again, using the sharp money tool, being able to see high liquidity amounts for these college basketball games can definitely really help you out. So, yeah, I can honestly bet this on Bookmaker if I wanted to, but I'm going to go hit this up on Bet Now. Under 151, Syracuse, Binghamton. That was on ESPN Bet. That's why I was going to showcase it. Looks like it's gone now. What else do we have? We're looking at plays that are over 5% EV edge. Again, with so many games today, guys, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you set your standards a little bit higher for tonight's games. No Clemson. So I got to find the Clemson play. Where is it? Where's it at? What time are these guys playing today? They're playing at 5 o'clock. Okay. Too many games. I need that search bar. Where's that search bar at, man? Bet Now. Where we got the search bar? I'll have to find that later. Okay. We're going to move on. Let's talk about live arbitrage betting with college basketball and why it's so goated. Here's why it is so goated. The amount of things that you can bet on college basketball is a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller. So when we're looking at college hoops, okay, Bradley and St. Bonaventure, there's a lot less options available for you when you're betting college basketball compared to the NBA. The NBA, there's so many player props. There's so many other markets. It's fairly simple with college basketball. When we're live arbitrage betting, you're live arbitrage betting money lines, spreads, and totals. Now, FanDuel sucks because they have these alternate spreads and alternate total points. They've been doing this for years. It's so dumb because you got to click into all of these to find out. This is where the one-click bet feature can definitely help you guys out. You can see I had to do this for all the alternate spreads. Okay, it's really annoying with FanDuel. But there just isn't as many options that we have to bet. You can just look at alternates. You can also could just come down here. That's also really nice, right? You got first half. They're not taking as much. Here's the spread, total points. Then we got some alternates, right? Team props. Again, this is going to be dependent on where you live. Where I live in Arizona, I cannot bet on, St. Bonaventure's team total over or under. Some places you can, some states you can, some you can't. So the reason that we like to live arbitrage with college basketball, there just isn't as many options for us to choose. And less options means it's easier for you guys to find the plays. That's what it's all about. So if I come over here and I say, all right, listen, dude, just give me anything over 3%. We just want to go after college hoops. And I just want to go after main markets. It's really simple. And I don't care. And then maybe we'll just go after a couple of sports books, right? Maybe I'm just looking at let's look at some of the main popular books. Give me a Bet Rivers in there too. Okay. And then for myself, obviously, it's going to be Hard Rock. And then we'll just come over here to live. And we just click this right now. And as you can see, guys, what's happening, right? What's going on? I mean, we got plus, look at this. It's 14.5% arb right now between Hard Rock and Bet Rivers. Now, I'm not going to hit this play up right now because I'm not logged into those books, right? So if you see this and you're like, holy shit, this is insane between Hard Rock and Caesars or Hard Rock and ESPN Bet. This is over 11% arb. This is how you make your money this year. But I'm not logged into any of these books. So I am not going to expect to hit these plays up. Okay, I'm not going to. So if I tried to log in, see, they're already gone. But the stoppage tool, like these are some crazy arbs, guys. If you're logged into these books, it's a lot easier to day trade these sports books when you're logged in and you're ready to rock and roll. Right? It's going to be really simple. So on a day like today, you're going to be able to find some plays. Like I'm looking at this Queens play. It's out here on Hard Rock. I could bet this on Hard Rock, right? And I could say, okay, I just got to refresh my page. And then am I in on DraftKings? I am. And it's at plus 100 odds. And I'm just dying to get this play in right now on Hard Rock because it's telling me my location can't be verified. But it's still really good. Can we get Queens on the money line at plus 100 odds? Plus 125. There it is. So I come up here. I go, yo, I just got this at plus 125 for $100. I can now get this at minus 105 for 115. Plus 114 odds, even better. Plus 114 now. Watch this, okay? 105, it gets suspended. That's okay. We'll see what happens here, right? Because we're in on Winthrop right now, plus 125 odds. It's a tie ball game, right? It's a tie ball game. So it's suspended right now on DraftKings. Now it's minus 120. What about FanDuel? It's minus 138, right? So I'm one-sided at the moment here, guys, because I figure I might be able to execute this live. But we'll see. 3 minutes left. It's a tie game. Winthrop now. This arb doesn't look as good as it once did. Oh, man, it looks great. It looks incredible now. Plus 340. Plus 128. Minus 130. This is all over the place. FanDuel's moving like crazy right now on this play. And so I'm just kind of chilling here and seeing what's what. Just hanging off to the side here, seeing what's going on. We might lose this straight up, but we'll see. There we go, minus 102. Can we get this at minus 102? Okay, we're in. Winthrop, minus 102. So we just made an arb where I placed $100 on one book, $115 on the other. We're in for what, $225? So yeah, unfortunately, it's like a low hold. Fortunately, it's a bit of a low hold there. No, it's $215. I'm sorry. We're in for $215. We're making $10 on Hard Rock, or we're making $12 on FanDuel. Okay, so here we go. Check it out. We placed the bet on Queens at plus 125 odds on the money line for $100. And we just placed this for 115 over here on Winthrop. And we just placed the live arb. So there we go. That's how it goes. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this so I can tweet this out here in a second, guys. But that's how we get it done. Which was awesome. So let's do this. All right, there it is. So it took me a minute, but we were able to lock that one in. Now it's crazy, right? Because we're at the end of the game. But again, if you guys can focus, if you're able to, and I know that was a kind of an extreme example, one-click bet feature can definitely help you guys out when it comes to placing these arbs. And if you can focus on the money line plays, you can focus on point spreads. There's less books available. You can day trade these books, and you can make some good money, right? You just got to make sure that you're kind of locked in and ready to go. But there we go. So this is why you're going to see so many ARBs this year live arbitraging with college basketball. There will be a lot of live ARBs out there, and day trading these books can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. And so there we go. Nice. All right, so let's go back over to DFS, Fantasy Optimizer. Let's see what we have. That one was a little nerve-wracking, but we got it in. So we locked in, I think just $10 to $12 a guaranteed profit just now, which is nice. Keep it in like simple bet sizes, right? We're talking about Winthrop and Queens, so it's like I'm not betting $500 on this as an ARB, but we got something going on, which I like that. Okay. Yeah, so Irish, I will be happy. Here's what I'll say, Irish. I'm going to share that with you, and I'm happy to do so. I wouldn't touch college basketball props with a 100-foot pole, personally. But again, I understand there's a really good boost out there. College basketball props have, now it's a little, I'll say this first. If you watch a lot of St. John's basketball or Utah basketball or Texas or Kentucky, and you know your teams and you know your players, then you have definitely an inside edge. But for myself, I don't follow these kids closely at all. I don't know who's good and who's not. So I really rely on the sports books for my odds in terms of my guide, and I don't know. And because liquidity for these markets is so low, there's very little liquidity on college basketball player props. Looks like this bet's going to win on FanDuel. Okay. I would be just very careful. The boost is good. I understand why you want to use it, but this is just a general statement for the start of the college basketball season. You can lose your ass off on player props in college basketball. Be very careful. I do not play them. Personally, I don't play them at all. DraftKings Pick 6 could give me a 200% profit boost. I'm not playing it because I don't mess around with this. But for those of you that have the boost and want to check it out, here we go. Del Orso. I don't know who's really sharp when it comes to this. I would say FanDuel because they're probably taking the highest liquidity limits. But even then, we're talking like maybe $200. Not much. So in terms of discrepancies, I'm always interested in this. Jaden Bradley over 12.5. FanDuel's at 14.5. I like that. Right? I like that type of discrepancy. He's with Arizona? We're seeing a lot of Arizona, Florida plays. Thomas, okay. Yes, is okay. It's not great. But it's tough for me to really give any recommendations on plays or slips. Obviously, being in Arizona, I can't play college player props. Thank God I can't. But if you guys are on like a Profit X or no vig, be very careful. And this is where you can use the sharp money tool, right? With that statement that I just said right there, guys. So for Irish, to answer your question, I would say Jaden Bradley, bingo. Condon, if you can bet him on Florida on the over. They're opposite sides. I bet his over on his rebounds. And then I'm looking for some more FanDuel odds, but I don't see anything. So pick your favorite, I guess. Maybe Sanon. Really tough for me to say. Really tough. So if we know this on the sharp money tool, what I just said, which is like, if you want to come and look at player props for college hoops, go back over here and get this off. And you might be able to find that if you start to see some serious liquidity posted, and there might not be anything here, okay? There's no bets at the moment. But if you start to see some player props where guys are putting up like a couple $1,000, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, then that's definitely something that we want to get into. Highly recommend, though, you guys check out the live arbitrage tool for when these games, we have games going on all day today. We have games starting in an hour. We have Bradley St. Bonaventure. Then we have a bunch of games starting a little bit later. And at 6:30 Eastern time, there's going to be a ton of games going on. And it's going to be a great time to live arbitrage. right? I would be all in on that. So just a fair warning for you guys. I'm not trying to throw water on a fire, but you couldn't pay me to bet college player props or college football props. Any college player props, really, I'd rather just not. So what else do we got here? Let's take a look at some PrizePicks. Dude, we're already an hour and 10 minutes. Damn, going for a while. We're going to wrap the stream up here in just a second. I'm back on tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's see what we got. Drew Holiday, Rui. I don't mind this play on Rui and Drew. Talked about the combos play. It's still off to FanDuel. It's way off to Pinnacle. Pinnacle's starting to unveil some of their player prop odds. They have some difference of opinions on these combos, though, between Pinnacle and FanDuel, which kind of stinks. Yeah, I mean, like, here's a great example. So, Sabonis and Murray. Pinnacle's at minus 182. FanDuel's at plus 104. And these are NBA player props. That's a crazy difference. I don't really know who's right and who's wrong. I would probably say FanDuel's right, because if Pinnacle's agreeing with MGM, don't like that one. That's why I like to find plays like this Drew Holiday play where both books are in general agreement that this is a good play on PrizePicks. Take the under on Drew Holiday, Rui Hachimura on their combo for points. What else? Joker, under 12.5 rebounds. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Joker under 12.5 rebounds. That's fine. But I don't really have a third play at the moment. Not at the moment. Okay. All right. And then for last but not least, for any of my Fliff people. Any of the Fliff people that are taking a look. This is way off to Pinnacle. Ohio State minus 34.5 college basketball today. I would take that on Fliff. Western Kentucky, I would take this. And we talked about Gonzaga. Hofstra and UCF, I don't know about that. But like Western Kentucky and Tennessee Tech too. Again, be careful here. I have more confidence in Ohio State because they're a Big Ten powerhouse team. Western Kentucky and Tennessee Tech. I think Western Kentucky's in the MAC, but I don't know. Got to remember now all these crazy other conferences that I forgot about for college hoops. But that's where I would go, guys. I definitely go Gonzaga. Definitely go Ohio State. I'm fine with the Western Kentucky play. These are Fliff plays. Straight wager and parlay, whatever your heart desires. Guys, that is where we're going to end things. Looks like our ARB won on FanDuel, so I made an extra $2. So Winthrop takes down Queens. And the first game of the college basketball season, we had an ARB on it. That was fun. Otherwise, guys, talk to you guys tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy your morning. We'll talk soon. Peace.